My good friends, how do you do? Welcome back. Welcome back if you're old here, or hey, if you're new. So there's a bit of wind, so I apologize if that gets in the way. But wanted to be out in the vibrations of Mama today, Mama Earth. So this makes me laugh, guys, because I interact with a lot of people in this dimension. And just like I have been and sometimes we become confused and lost. Look how close the word lost is to lust. L-U-S-T, L-O-S-T. Anyway, hey, maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just a raving lunatic on YouTube, right? Let love be thy guide, my friends. Now I know everybody, once you start becoming, you remember your spirituality, and I remember because I did this too, but the degree to which you swing this way is a degree to which you will swing the other way. I don't think I wrote that law, but it works, so I use it. Pendulum. If I swing 30 degrees that way, I'm going 30 degrees the other way. So if you want to delve, I got my buddy over there. If you want to delve more deeply into life and light, then you have to dive into darkness and what's going on here. And the only thing I can tell you of any value is let love be thy guide, my friends. We live in a dark planet. We live in a dark dimension. Again, yes, I know this is changing. I know all the light is coming out, and organic markets, and everybody's doing yoga, and I'll be stretching out in the park, just doing some kind of stretches or something, and everybody's like, "Hey man," they'll come up and approach me. "You doing yoga?" I'm like, "I don't know, I'm just stretching, I'm just moving like a monkey or something." They're like, "Oh, okay." But anyway, we live on a dark planet, guys, and we think we can see, but we cannot. And the funny thing is, most of us guys, we think we can see with our eyes, but again, look this up. Don't believe me. You're not seeing with your eyes, my friends. You're seeing with your brain. You're seeing with your brain because your eyes are connected to your brain. So if you cannot understand something in your life, you will not be able to see that something in your life. Why is a poor man poor? Why don't you have money? All you spiritual folk out there, why don't you have money? I haven't either for the longest time. Why? Because, okay, something's wrong with it, but are you not willing to accept? The reason you can't see something in this physical hologram reality is because you cannot understand it in your brain. Until you can understand something, you won't be able to see that something. So somebody who is wealthy because they understand wealth. I am rich in energy because I understand the intricacies of energy and how it works. So you have no choice. Love is your only guide here. God is good. You can have love guide you or lust guide you. But if lust, L-U-S-T, guides you, you're going to wind up lost, L-O-S-T. How do I know? I've been lost for the longest time. This is like a spiritual lost and found. And they took me up, they said, "Hey, does this belong to anybody?" I said, "Yeah, I know that guy. Give him back to me. You took him from me." Anybody feel like they've been raped spiritually? Like they've been taken? Most of you aren't even here yet? Let me say that again. Do you know that most of you aren't even here yet? Most of you are not even here yet. We're still coming. I'm still coming here. Now that might not make sense for you, it might for some. We're still coming here. So make room in your body, because Trying to squeeze your spirit into your body is trying to squeeze a watermelon into an orange. A watermelon's a lot bigger. It's got a lot more energy. If you're not prepared, your body's going to short circuit. You're going to freak out. As happens sometimes, I guess they call them ascension symptoms or whatever, whatever terminology you want to use. But if you don't prepare your body, if you don't prepare this physical existence for your spiritual existence, for the existence you had with the Father, your prior existence with the Father, that's who you really are. You don't belong on this planet. You don't belong here. I know some of you, we like settling down, we like building stuff, but hey, I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. We are in this world, we're not of it. Don't get too comfortable here, because nothing you do here matters. Nothing you do here, let me correct that. Nothing you do physically matters here. You could spend, 3 hours a day at the gym like I used to, and bam, bam, and you think you're somebody. Hey, look at me. Oh, that's not going to last. Your body has an expiration date, believe it or not. Your body is an indicator of the passage of time. But you're not here to settle. This is not your home. I never felt at home here. I never felt at home here. I understand, yes, you have your sacred space and, you bring that with you. That's great. Your I am presence, I get that. But how come when I walk out in the street, I see stop signs and red lights, and there's a cop trying to tell me what to do, and there's all these weird looking buildings with this sacred geometry, and the banks, banks are built a specific way to harvest your energy, to get energy directed that way, just like all the cities that are specially designed geometrically to harvest energy. Have you ever been to Los Angeles? Have you ever been to New York, Chicago, these capital cities? And again, the word capital means kaput, which means skull, which means death. Capital City is a death city, like Capitol Records, or Capitol Hill in Washington, whatever, Capitol Building. This is a planet of death, and we're bringing life to it. The gods of this planet are gods of death. They're inverse gods. Don't take my word for it. You will feel what I'm saying in your heart. And if this is the first time you're hearing this, I would say I apologize, but you had to hear it at some point, or else you wouldn't be here. And the truth at first is going to create division inside you. It's going to hurt. If you haven't been hurt, if you have not been disturbed at some point on your journey of information seeking and inner work and all this stuff you're doing, if you have not been utterly, profoundly disgusted with yourself and disturbed at what's going on around you, you have not found truth yet. If you have not been disturbed and disgusted, you have not found truth yet. But after the disturbance and the disgust comes marvel, comes awe. You're awestruck. I walk around sometimes, I'm like, am I dreaming? Am I awake? I can't tell the difference anymore. I really can't. Somebody pinch me, really. And, for me to make sense of this, I eat and I go to the gym. I work out. That's the only way I can tell I'm not, dreaming, quote unquote, although I get that this is a dream. So, and like I was saying with these capital cities, guys, they're harvesters of energy. They're built a certain way to direct the energetic flow a certain way, right? What is a Freemason? A Mason is somebody that builds something. The people that have built these buildings, well, they know what's up. Satanists are the smartest people on this planet. Satanists, Luciferians, these guys are the smartest people on this planet. You have to ask yourself why. If you work for me and I run this planet, I'm going to treat you well. I'm going to let you in on some intel. I'm going to tell you some secrets if you work for me. Satanists are the smartest guys on this planet. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is. So you have to know what kind of knowledge you're dealing with and power. Because everything I say, you know, what I'm saying now doesn't mean squat. See, knowledge will get you nowhere. Knowledge has gotten me nowhere. Knowledge puffs up. Love builds up. Love is what will get you places. Love is what brought me to where I am right now. And I listened to something inside me and I said, you know, I'm going to go to this place and meet this person. This guy. Because the word person means fictitious entity. It means a piece of paper. It means something that does not have life. As a person. We've all been processed persons. Your name is a part of the process. You're a processed person. Why do you think they have processed foods? Because what you eat, you become. What you eat, you become. So everything that's, you know, man, you know, I've been looking for watermelon. I'm in the U.S. right now as of the making of this video. I've been looking for watermelons with seeds. Can't find them. I cannot find watermelons with seeds. I actually have to go out of my way to find a normal watermelon. I haven't had one in months. It's my favorite fruit. Haven't had one in months. Why? They're genetically modifying. You see, if you eat artificial foods, you're going to become an artificial person. This is what they want. See, they cannot touch a living being. They can only touch an artificial entity. Once they take your life from you, they're yours. You're theirs, I mean. Once they take your life from you, you are theirs. They have legal right to slap you upside the ass and do what they want with you. But they can only do that to an artificial entity. They cannot do that to a living person, to a living being. So if they can get you to eat artificial things and live in an artificial environment and do everything that's fake and wear shoes and you never make contact with your mother Earth, if you never have these kinds of knowings and feelings, you're going to be an artificial person. But you think you're real is what's funny. But you know, this planet is full of walking zombies, and you'll see that the more you activate within your own heart. And it becomes your responsibility to, well, you have no choice. The more you wake up, the more you activate, the more life, the more God with a big G is going to use you to play out His will, not yours. Let me say it again, to play out His will, capital H, not yours. I was living out my will for a long time. Wasted a whole bunch of time and money doing it, but had no power. The only reason these videos have any ounce of power is because I do the best I can to throw my words out the window and use His, and use the words of Source. Because my words have no power. My words have no power. Neither do yours. When you're painting or writing or poetry or whatever you do, you have no power if you sit there and try to control it. You have very little power. But when you allow that Holy Spirit to fill you, and you allow Source to course through your veins, that's when the beauty really comes out, when you let it come out. Let love be thy guide here, my friends, because this is a dark planet, and truth does not exist here. It is like a long forgotten memory. It is like a broken shard of glass. Where's the rest of me? Where are my broken fragments, my shards, the fragments of my soul that are incarnate in other people as soul family? And you'll know them when you see them. You'll recognize them. Your spiritual power of discernment is the most valuable thing you have on this planet. You know, because I get asked, how do you know what you're saying is true? How do I know if this person's not lying to me? How do I know what to do? I can't tell you what to do. See, God or Source can take you to the lake of truth, but He can't make you drink from it. I can tell you something, I can't make you do it. Can't. I used to try, but anybody that tries to possess you is possessed themselves. Anybody that tries to control you is controlled. I cannot do something to you that has not been done to me. I cannot do something to you that has not been done to me. It's very hard. Maybe you could still do it, but if I haven't felt something, how could I possibly? If I haven't felt infinite love and respect for myself and for everything else around me, how could I possibly give that to you if I haven't felt it first? Because here's the thing, guys. The minute you feel truth, the minute you experience the true God and the truth, first of all, you'll know, and nobody needs to tell you. You're just going to know. The moment you experience that, you're not going to want to, you won't settle for anything less. You'll try and you'll still falter. You'll go back and forth. You're like, yeah, you got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot outside the pool, right? And you're like, hey, should I jump in? It might be kind of cold. But once you experience, it's kind of like, you hesitating to go into the ocean when it's cold. But when you go in and you get, the body gets used to the temperature and the feeling, you wake up. You're like, whoa! You feel more alive than ever. You feel more alive than ever, and the truth is the same way when you jump into that ocean. But you got to jump. There's no baby steps. Maybe there's a sneak preview, but you got to sneak preview, and then you got to jump in. There's no steps. You gotta commit 100% and say, you know what, this is what I want, because the other stuff was fake. This reality, or this world, this planet, this life is it's like degrees of realness. But see, here's the thing: what you do with your increased energy is totally up to you. Totally up to you. But knowledge without love is dangerous. The guys on this planet that run this place have hoarded knowledge, but they don't know a thing about love. Not that I do. I'm learning. I'm a humble, I try to be a humble student at the feet of love, because I could barely wrap my head around it. Infinite love. But again, the guys that run this planet, the head honchos, they have accumulated knowledge, and they said, yeah, you know what, screw the rest. I don't get it. So they've hoarded information, and again, knowledge is power. But your knowledge will reach a breaking point. It's going to hit the precipice, the abyss. It's going to hit a wall. Your knowledge will hit a wall if there's no love to back it. If there's no love to guide who you are, you're going to hit a wall. Let love be thy guide here, my friends. There's nothing else here that will lead you anywhere. If you want to breathe easy and you want to sleep nicely at night, you want to toss it and turn it, and that's all that exists here. Love is a long forgotten memory. In those moments we have, you and I share, maybe in a video like this, you feel it, right? Go look at yourself. Go look at yourself in the mirror. Go pause this video right now. Go look at yourself in the mirror, and just look at yourself. How do you feel? These moments are real. They're remnants of who we are, who we once were, who we'll be again. But it takes some work. It takes some, you got to take the spiritual shovel, as they say, and you start digging. Take the spiritual shovel and start digging up on digging. So let love be thy guide here, my friends, because if it's not love, it will be lust, and lust will get you lost. Your lust will get you lost. It will take you straight to the clutches, straight to the hands of the devil running this planet. The arc, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. A-L-M-N-O-P, A-B-C, words are words. But you'll feel what I'm saying in your heart if you allow my words to penetrate you. If you allow yourself the vulnerability to feel discernment. Because that's the thing, guys. Discernment is a two-edged sword. So you're not only going to feel truth, you're also going to feel the lie. You're going to feel that. Your heart's going to start racing. You might start itching. You turn a little red. So the truth and the lie come as bodily sensations. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's up to you, but that's just, I speak from my personal experience and how I've been led and guided. I've also been pushed, but I've also been led and guided. And I prefer the latter. I prefer when I listen. Let love be thy guide, because there is nothing else that exists here that is real. Nothing else that exists here is real. Love is the closest thing to actuality that exists here. Each and every one of us here is being prepared for love. But in order to walk into that fire, you're going to have to drop some baggage. You're going to have to drop spiritual baggage, emotional baggage. And hey, sometimes that equates to physical baggage too. That means, you're going to have to take some things out of your bags. You're going to have to throw some stuff in the fire. A literal fire and a spiritual fire, right? Because you cannot withstand the vibration of love if you don't let some shit go. You can't. Your body's going to short circuit. It's going to freak out. How do I know? Because I tried. Freaked out. I ran away. I'm a runner. Are you? I bet you are if I know you. I know me. So, I don't want to gamble, but if you're anything like me, you run away from love. You run faster than Usain Bolt. So, so let's slow down a bit, and get rid of stuff so we can allow it to just, poop you out, clean you out. Hey, that's what I asked for. And the grace and the humility and the meekness to do as I say, to actually live what comes out of my mouth. That's why these videos are dangerous, because if I say something and I'm not doing it, then I'm twice the fool you are. If I say something and I don't do it, I am twice as stupid. That's why, not speaking is a smart thing. So hey, if I could give you any advice, it's shut your mouth and follow your heart. Shut your mouth and follow your heart. There you go. That'll be the new age spiritual lingo, yoga. So keep in touch. It's important to stay connected, because without connection there's no life. Nothing on this planet, nothing in existence exists without connection, without being connected to something. You came out of your mama connected. But yeah, I don't want to ruin the end of this video. You came, through your mama connected, but your umbilical cord was severed at birth. It was cut. And most people don't know this. I know I freaked out when I heard this, but your umbilical cord actually falls off 4 days later naturally. It just comes off on its own, solidifying the relationship between mother and child. 4 days later, it comes off on its own. So you got to ask yourself, why is it being snipped away? Why is it being cut? Who put that order into place? Who put that ordinance into effect that the moment we come out of the womb and we're birthed or born into this dimension, we have the most important connection on this planet? In your entire life, the most important connection between mother and child is severed. So you got to ask yourself, who is smart enough to know that that's going to create trauma between the mother and the child? Satan is the smartest guy on this planet. He may not have love, but he's a clever fox. Satan, that old dragon, deceived the whole world. Not half, not some, the whole world. Myself included.